What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Monday, people. We are back and we've got a lot to talk about today. Arsenal, injury news, transfer news, and we'll talk about the World Cup as well. And obviously, I've turned up proper New York nicked out today, people, as they won the championship, man. So I had to, what I'm saying, turn up in the Knicks colours. It's been an epic year of sport, man. Arsenal winning the league for the first time in 22 years, and the New York Knicks winning the NBA championship for the first time in 53 years. Spike Lee, man, geez, he'll be happy after this season, man. We'll delve into that a little bit as well. Big up to everyone locked in. Information and entertainment business, you already know. You already know, people. And we got lots to talk about. And I want to talk about a player that I watched last night. We're going to go into a bit more detail regarding him as well. It's a player that we all know, and a lot of you will have watched the game last night, but we're going to have a little conversation about it. And obviously, people, today is the official opening of the transfer window. The window opens today, the 15th. So officially players can sign now. The big news yesterday was that Cucurella has signed for Real Madrid for £45 million. That sort of came out of nowhere. I've got this feeling that Real Madrid are going to do well under Jose. I just think he's brought in Dumfries, Canate and Cucurella. He's just going to... I think the one thing Jose knows how to do is build solidarity. And all of a sudden, I think that back four's a lot more solid. What does that mean for Trent? I think Trent's going to struggle to get in that team because you definitely have to defend properly to play for Mourinho. I don't necessarily think Mourinho's a great coach. I think he's past his best. But I just think Madrid needs somebody to go there and organise them, you know. Would you take Trent? Yeah, I would take Trent. Especially with Timber's injury problems now. We definitely need a right back. Is that a Brunson jersey? Nah, this is old school, bro. This is Carmelo Anthony, man. Carmelo was one of my favourite basketball players, man. Carmelo was one of them basketball players that sort of crossed over into hip-hop. A lot of the rappers used to be with him and rap about him. Allen Iverson and all of that. So, yeah, Carmelo, you know what I mean? I've been a Knicks fan for a minute, you know what I mean? Patrick Ewing, Jamaican roots. Then I like Carmelo. And then, obviously, Jalen Brunson, he's half Jamaican as well. So, yeah, man, let's have a quick discussion about the Knicks and then we'll get into football. Some of you obviously won't want to talk about basketball for too long. Carmelo is now old school. I am old. Well, he is really, isn't it? Carmelo, I think his son plays basketball. So if we're talking about Melo being old school, he is. You know, his son's playing. But the New York Knicks won the NBA championship, beating the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio, and New York went absolutely crazy. There was buses on fire, there was cars smashed, and apparently a shooting as well, which seems like a basic, regular celebration in New York. I don't even think that's anything over the top, just a little shooting and a bus on fire. And Wemby was fuming. The New York fans egged him as he was coming out of the hotel. And then he refused to shake hands with any of the players afterwards as well. But big up to New York, man. Jadakiss settings, man. We're turned up like Jada today. New York, the real New York. Come outside. I don't live in Miami. I don't live in Colorado. Come to my block, you'll see me. Yo, it's crazy, man. I got 100 guns, 100 clips. I'm from New York. It's crazy. New York was going wild, man. Obviously, the Brazil game was in New York that night as well. So that whole city, a couple of my friends who've gone to the World Cup, and one of them who stays over there was saying that Times Square was insane that night. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, man, it was going off, people. It was going off. Big up the Knicks. I do think they are like the Arsenal of the NBA. Yeah, damaging the city is crazy. I never understand when people start blowing up buses and stuff. It's like, I don't know. I don't really know what you achieve from that. But yeah, it is what it is. New York Knicks. The Did he just say you don't know that Why Banger song by Jadakiss? I'm telling you now, Daniel, this is respectfully, by the way, I'm giving you a 3-minute timeout. To jump in, I'll take football slander all day long. But you jump in the comments and think I don't know a hip hop record like that. A commercial hip hop record as well. Oh my, listen, 3 minutes. Daniel, big up for tuning in today. Don't take this disrespectfully. You're holding a 3-minute time out for that. Man said I don't know that record. Anthony Hamilton and Jadakiss. Oh my days, come on. Tell him to consider his actions. 3 minutes. Get on the naughty step. All that I've been given is this pain that I've been living. They got me in the system. Let me not even justify myself. Let's move on. Let's move on. It should be 6 minutes. I can't lie. Anyway, big up to everyone, man. Locked in. Right, let's talk Arsenal. For the non-basketball fans who are thinking, what am I doing here? You know, I've turned up to talk Arsenal. He's talking about the Knicks, and I'm dressed up like Jadakiss today, people. I've got to talk about a player. And we're going to risk playing this footage because I think the guy has changed the speed of this video, so I might get away with it. I don't like getting hyped up by players on individual performances. It's very dangerous, very risky. But somebody needs to start talking to me about Yan Diomande. I need explanations. I need people that watch the German league on a more consistent basis than me to start telling me how good this guy is, or if he's overhyped. Am I just getting carried away because of how easily he goes past players? I need explanations. I watched him a couple times last season. The only reason I watched him is because we were being linked with him, and I thought, okay, let me do a bit of a background check. Watched him a couple times. I came away saying he reminds me of Semenyo, but I think he's quicker. But his end product has definitely got a lot to be desired. But 1v1 is an absolute demon. Now, some people are saying, yo, he's 19, he's got unbelievable potential. Some people are saying, don't fall for the hype. He's just a Noni Madueke with probably more pace, with no end product. So I just wanted to bring the discussion to people. I mean, some there, Courtesy has only pace, no end product. Martinelli with more speed. Madueke 2.0. Yeah, fizz. And I knew a lot of people would say that. But I can't lie. He had Nkapie skating around the pitch last night. I'm going to just quickly play this. And again, even when I'm watching this clip back, he doesn't deliver much at the end of many of the things that he's doing here. But I can't lie, it was exciting to watch. I think this is sped up, so just bear with me on this. Diomande verse, I hope this is on mute. I mean, he does the double tap pass there, which is crazy. The guy doesn't do well. He just shifts him here, too quick. Crossed it in, dangerous cross, headed away. This one, see you later. Nkapie, look, Nkapie's swimming, he's doing breaststroke. He's got him here, yeah, gone again. I mean, don't get me wrong, most of the crossers are getting blocked, but just the ease that he's getting away from him. I didn't even see this bit at the end. Ah, there we go. There's the problem with him. There's the problem with him. Let me pull that back. The end product is definitely lacking, but he's a menace. Nkapie ain't easy to get past, you know. He's mincing him. Don't get me wrong, he's got space to run into there. Martinelli would probably do him. Just dropping shoulders on him. Gone. His acceleration is insane, though. Look, he ain't even got space there. He's being doubled up on. Yo, it's crazy. I can't lie. I think he's better than Noni. And people say you're overhyping basic stuff. Bro, I'm telling you, wingers don't do that often nowadays. He could be Noni 2.0. They want 100 million euros plus for him. So let me not get carried away. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of wingers that we're talking about that are not very convincing as well. But no, Lawrence, I can't lie, man. I watched the game. He had Nkapie on the ropes. He did. During the game, like, you know when you have that feeling watching a game that he's got the fullback on the ropes? He had him. And he even went to the left a couple of times and cooked the right back. I'm telling you, man, he looks like a Met. But I'm gonna be honest. I think I watched him play live about 3 times. I watched the game last night, and I watched about 2 games at the back end of the season. All the rest of it is YouTube. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm an expert on this guy. And you do have to be careful with World Cups because you can end up with El Hadj Diouf, who had a good World Cup and then wasn't great. Lawrence says, grew up on Rubery Rob and CR7. Now we're hyping this. It's reality, bro. It's the reality of it. We can say that about everything. We can say that about everything. You can go through nearly every position in the world. I could say, we're hyping up. Who's one of the best wingers? Or a goalkeeper. We used to have Schmeichel, Peter Cech. You can do that about everything. The whole game is not the same. But I say one thing about him. He is exciting. I don't care if his end product is a little bit off. He's 19 and he's a menace. His acceleration is absolutely ridiculous. He looks better than Noni. But I think he's going to go to Liverpool. If not, he'll stay. They want over 100 million for him, and I wouldn't be paying that for him. Big up Brian, Brooklyn. Let's go, Knicks. Let's go. D Black, New York, the real New York. Come outside. It's one of them people. Yeah, listen, it is football. We'd have looked at him 15 years ago and gone, yeah, sell him to Crystal Palace, mate. We're not interested. But it's the modern game. That's where we're at, people. It's where we are at. But he's exciting. But we're not even being linked with him now. So clearly, we're not. Man said Pepe with dreads. Let's talk about a player that we watched on the last watch along. And that is Bouaddi. Yeah, shout out your channel, bro. Feel free. Anyone who's got a channel, promote it in the comments. Feel free. Ayoub Bouaddi, who bossed that game against Brazil. 18 years of age. Absolutely bossed it. Should have got man of the match. But Vinicius got man of the match. Even though I love Vinny. And I want Arsenal to sign Vinny. And the goal was probably one of the best moments of the World Cup so far. Bouaddi should have got man of the match. But when Travis Scott's jumping around in the crowd and half the people in the stadium are wearing Vinicius Jr. shirts, PR kicks in and he gets man of the match. I get it. It's a business. It's money. But Bouaddi was the best player on the pitch, in my opinion. Although that Brahim Diaz through ball was insane. Had some guy in my comments going, oh, are you going to acknowledge that Gabriel was all over the place for the goal? I said, rude boy, he's a champion of England. If he goes to the World Cup and has a stinker for Brazil, it ain't the end of the world, bro. I'm interested in what he does in an Arsenal shirt. He's champion of England right now. And he's had a long season. But yeah, Vinny won man of the match. But listen, let's talk about Bouaddi. And this is not a new link, by the way. So I don't want people to think that this is something that that game's happened and then all of a sudden we're being linked with him. We've been genuinely speaking about this guy since last season. Gary Jacob, who is a decent source, not A1, but definitely not bottom of the barrel, says Arsenal have begun talks to sign Ayoub Bouaddi, the teenage midfielder who impressed for Morocco in their 1-1 draw with Brazil. And then he goes on to the full story. Arsenal have spoken to his agent, but haven't made a move for the player directly yet. Now, this story, by the way, says that Arsenal want 4 centre midfielders next season. Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Lewis Skelly, and one other. Now, that would probably indicate that Norgard is going to get sold and Arsenal are going to sign a midfielder to replace him so that we've got 4 centre midfielders. And then, obviously, you've got your attacking midfielders in front, which will be your Eze and Marino. And if they end up keeping Odegaard and Max and Ethan if he stays. This guy is a talent. Now, I want to give you a bit more insight into the deal rather than just what he's saying there, because we have been chasing this guy for a while. And I've read this full story. So, Arsenal have been working on a deal for Ayoub Bouaddi for several months. The Gunners made it clear to the 18-year-old that he would play an important role in their project, with the midfielder understood to be open to the move. Lille are demanding around 70 million euros for Bouaddi, although Arsenal believe their strong relationship with club president Olivier Letang could help negotiations. Now, we do have a good relationship with Lille. Obviously, we signed Nicolas Pepe from Lille. They bumped us. He wasn't worth 72 million, although he was a decent player. And then we signed Gabriel from Lille as well. So we do have a previous relationship of doing business with them. And they do owe us one. I'd be calling them saying, yo, to be fair, it balances itself out because we paid 35 million for Gabriel. We paid 72 million for Pepe. If you just switch those around, if I said to you we paid 72 million for Gabriel, you'd be saying, what a signing. 35 million for Pepe, you'd say, well, that's not terrible. So they haven't really bumped us that much. They want 70 million euros, which is around 61 million pounds, which is a lot for an 18-year-old. Yeah, we bought Gervinho from them as well, which was a mistake. We obviously should have got Hazard. But when you look at Elliot Anderson going for 120 million, 61 million pounds for an 18-year-old is a very good price. And Lille are quite flexible. They do usually give us a nice little Klarna, buy now, pay later business. What I will say about Bouaddi is, again, I've seen him a few times because I thought we were going to sign him last season. So I've made a bit of an effort to watch him a handful of times. Again, you've got to be careful. That Brazil midfield, I've seen more movement in the Statue of Liberty than that midfield. I think when you can see a player straight away, the way he's taking the ball, his progressive passing, both feet, he's tall, looks reasonably strong for an 18-year-old. He does give slight Guendouzi vibes. Do you know what I mean? Moroccan, French connection, that link up. I actually thought selling Guendouzi was a mistake at the time, but Arteta didn't like his attitude. He's a baller. However, what I will say is I'd be intrigued to see him play a couple of more times. What I want to ask the community is, sometimes you can be a talent, but are you the right player for the way you want your midfield to look? And what I mean by that is he the right kind of midfielder to play next to Declan Rice? Because for me, I want a midfielder that's going to create chances, that's going to chip in with goals. Is he actually that kind of player? Can he become that kind of player? I like Declan Rice in the 6. Now, just to give you an example, Bouaddi played 30 league games last season. He got no goals and 1 assist. The year before, he played 24 games. He got no goals and no assists. He scored 0 goals in 54 league games. Even in the Champions League, 9 games, no goals. Last year, Europa League, 10 games, no goals. He does not score goals. So to me, he's more of like a deep lying sort of playmaker that does get forward. But I'm just thinking, if you play him and Declan Rice, the creativity and the goals, I'm not sure you're getting them from those two. So I'm still not sure if you sign him, whether he starts. I'm still not sure whether he starts in Arsenal's team if you sign him. I think you're getting him for rotation. And listen, no, I'm not judging him purely based off the stats. But what I'm saying is, him and Declan Rice in midfield, is that the right profile? Like, I think we need somebody that can go forward. And what I'm saying is, Rice and Skelly might be a better midfield than Rice and Bouaddi for what I think we need. I think we need a midfielder that can go and drive forward, that can score goals, that can create chances. So, but I would still take him. I would still take him, by the way. Yo, big up DJB, man. Make sure you go and follow him. He said, Big C, Bouaddi with them stats would fit in Arteta's attacking system perfectly. Yeah, a goalkeeper, 4 centre-backs, 2 defensive midfielders, a number 10 that drops back, and 2 wingers that run backwards more than forwards. It would be perfect. Haram ball at its finest. He would be good. He would be good. But I think he would. I'm not sure we'd be signing him to start him all the time. I think he'd be rotation. But very good talent. As I said, when I've read the full story, it does say that he favours staying in France. PSG have been linked with him. But they're saying that Arsenal might have a better chance of getting him just due to the fact PSG's midfield is so good. If he goes to PSG, you've got João Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz. He probably doesn't get in that midfield for now. He would have more game time, you would imagine, at Arsenal. So what do you guys think? £61 million, would you do the deal? Or would you save that money and put it elsewhere in a midfielder that maybe offers a little bit more going forward? Big Up D generally said, I like Bouaddi, but I agree, Curtis. I'd want a more attack-minded 8 that still wins duels. Check out Arthur Atta of Udinese, serious baller. My ideal number 8. I think Elliot Anderson would be great at Arsenal, but obviously the price is so high. That Atta, yeah, he's French, is he? I haven't seen much of him. Udinese, yeah, I've heard his name. Somebody was being linked with him. Was it Brighton or someone? But yeah, I haven't seen much of him, to be honest. Skelly and Ethan. Well, I think Ethan will be sold, unfortunately. Do you watch the UFC? I don't watch much UFC, you know, I'll be honest with you. I watch the odd fight, but I'm more of a boxing fan than a UFC fan, Cole. It was a wild event, he said. Big up to you, bro. PSG are buying a Russian midfielder. Tell me, well, explain to me what you think. Would you take him? Do you think Bouaddi and Declan Rice is a midfield that progresses us? I think we need a midfielder that can score goals. Yeah, we're doing a watch-along today, people. We're doing the Spain game. I wasn't going to do that game, but then I heard Lamine Yamal's back, so I'm doing it. Spain against Cape Verde, 5 o'clock kickoff. I'll be live 4:45, people. Lock in. I will be live basically the next 3 days. Today I'm doing the Spain game at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow I'm doing the French game at 8 o'clock, France against Senegal. Wednesday I'm doing England against Croatia. Thursday I don't think I'm doing any of those games, to be honest. I'm cherry picking at the moment. Once we get to the knockout stage, I'll be probably going live daily with watch-alongs. But at the moment, I'm kind of cherry picking. So yeah, I wasn't going to do the Spain game because I thought Lamine was injured, but he's back. And Lamine, to be honest, is one of my favourite players in the world. Big up Unknown C, we'll watch the Nick segment, but boy, what a final. New York vibes is different, 100%, bro. France-Senegal is going to be a crazy game. Absolutely crazy. The thing with me, with Arsenal is, and this is where fans, sometimes we look at it different. There's a priority of signings, and you kind of want the players that you want the most. Which is why when I heard us being linked with that Solis, I was not enthused about it, because I'm saying, no, we need a blockbuster left winger. I don't want some unknown left winger. But people going, oh, we're still going to buy another one. But yeah, you always have that concern. It's like when we signed Noni. We were like, why are we spending 50 million on Noni when we need a left winger that starts? I still think that Noni deal was a mistake. Marcel said, Diamande put a couple of chances on a plate for Pepe, didn't finish, didn't show that in the comp. Yeah, no, I watched the game. There was one right on the edge of the box. His shot was blocked. He looks like he's... I like the look of him. I know people who just say, oh, he's a fast winger with minimal end product. He got 20 GA last season in the Bundesliga. 12 goals, 8 assists for a 19-year-old. You know, Noni is never getting numbers like that. So, but 100 million's crazy. 100 million is mad. Flo said, Rice cover, brother. Who plays if Rice is injured? Yeah, I just look at it and I think Zubimendi, deep-lying playmaker. That's how Arteta uses him. Bouaddi seems to play deep. And then you've got Declan Rice, who's playing 6. Marino's the only centre midfielder that you look at who scores goals. But he doesn't really score goals when he plays in midfield for Arsenal. He does for Spain. He'll probably score tonight. DJB said, 61 million, we need a banging left winger and another right back. Timber injury prone, priorities, bro. Unfortunately, also need another forward, so Bouaddi may be a gamble. And you just wonder, don't you, like, how much money have we got? How much money have we got? That's the interesting thing. I would love to see Arsenal buy a striker, but I don't think we will buy a striker. I don't think he'll sell Havertz. Speaking of Havertz, because... he had a good game yesterday, but it was against Curacao. I could probably have a decent game against Curacao, but fair play to him. His second goal was very good. Chipped the goalkeeper. Um, and he scored a penalty for the first one. 7-1 against Curacao. I mean, Curacao knocked Jamaica out. Imagine that should have been Jamaica against Germany yesterday. It might have been more than 7, to be honest, the way Jamaica play. But yeah, Havertz got a couple goals online now. There's what a player. He'll probably win the Golden Boot at the World Cup now. I looked at it the other way. Everyone was online going, see, I told you Havertz is brilliant. I looked at it, I went, yeah, that gets us another 10 million for him. Do you know what I mean? That's how I looked at it, but maybe I'm wrong, people. I said many times, Arsenal need to use this World Cup to sell players. Players that you think, I'd be looking at Havertz right now going, yo, Havertz starting up front for Germany. He scored 2 in his first game. We can get him out of it. I'm telling you, Bayern Munich, I've said it many times. Bayern have been linked with him. They didn't sign Jackson. They want a backup for Harry Kane. Kane's in his Havertz to Bayern, but he ain't going. In fact, I'll go the other way and say Havertz will probably sign a new contract. I'll go as far as that. I think he'll sign a new deal. 2 years left. They won't let him get to 1 year, and Arteta loves him. But yeah, scored a couple goals, and let's see how he does against better opposition. He was still diving yesterday, which he absolutely loves doing, but it's interesting. I mean, Germany, nobody's really looked at Germany as a potential winner. Still not sure they're good enough to win it, but they've definitely got goals in them. Ruben Amorim to AC Milan. Here we go, yeah? Yeah. I saw that. That'll be interesting. And let's talk about Arsenal's main striker, the top goal scorer. Victor Gyokeres scored last night in Tunisia, against Tunisia, 5-1 win. And he got an assist as well, linking up well with Isak. Isak was balling out. Tunisia sacked their manager this morning after losing their first game, which is crazy. You don't see that too often. But yeah, Gyokeres off the mark, goal and an assist against Tunisia. And I think they play Holland on Friday, I think. Is it Friday? Definitely doing a watch along for that. And Van Dijk's getting hammered online because he's moaning about the water breaks. Is it Friday or is it Saturday? There you go, Saturday, 6 o'clock, Netherlands against Sweden. So I'll be doing a watch along for that as well. Well, the thing is, I always look at Gyokeres for Sweden. He looks different because they give him the ball quickly. I still think he's a better striker than Havertz. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Havertz is a good player. I've never, ever said Havertz is a bad player. He's the most frustrating player I've probably ever watched. When he's good, he's very good. When he's bad, he's... And the thing with Havertz is he misses big chances at big moments. Man City in the cup final at Wembley misses a one-on-one. Man City in the league game at the Etihad, he misses a one-on-one, then misses a header in the last minute. Newcastle when he headed it over. Man United when he misses the penalty. He don't miss sitters against little teams. He'll miss the biggest chance in a massive game. Although, listen, obviously Champions League goals, but I think sometimes Arsenal fans get caught up in moments. Like when I did the buy, sell, keep, somebody sent me a message saying, I can't believe that you said you would sell Odegaard when Odegaard got the assist for Trossard against West Ham. And I went, so is that how we judge football players? I mean, you would love to play in the Premier League if you can get away with just not doing well and then having one big moment and the fans will just forgive the rest of the season. Do you know what I mean? So he played a nice 10-yard pass into Trossard against West Ham, but he's got one Premier League goal this season. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too harsh, people. Maybe I'm moving like a unks. I look at Odegaard, I go, okay, it was a good pass to Trossard, mate, but where you been all season? You've been injured and you've been inconsistent. I reckon Gyokeres will score more goals next season if we know how to use him better. Yeah, that Namicha, is it, for Germany? He looks good. He looks good, man. Who does he play for? Dortmund, 25. Yeah, he looks decent. He's somebody I always pack on FIFA. 2 goals, 3 assists, 29 games. 3 goals in the Champions League as well. 25, yeah, he looks decent, man. Brother, you're not harsh. Watch him find his shooting boots when the pressure is off. Always been doing this for 3 years. I always say to people, like, when Havertz was our #1 striker, every Arsenal fan wanted a new striker. Every Arsenal fan was like, yeah, he's not good enough. Replace him. Give me Ollie Watkins. Give me Gyokeres. Give me this striker. Everyone was desperate to get him out of the team. Then you get someone else, they go, oh, he's a good player. Oh, no, he's good, he's good. Well, when he was playing every week, nobody wanted him. Everybody wanted him out. But hey, we'll save that for another day. 2 years today, people, since the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Campbell passed away. We had to acknowledge that. I retweeted one of his goal compilations today, man, just to remind people how much of a baller he was. Do you know what? I might even play it. We'll play it. I've played this video before, but I think a lot of people, especially the younger audience, who won't have really seen Kev play, you'd have just seen him on here, Curtis. You won't have realised how good a player he actually was. And the big moments and big goals. I mean, it's crazy. 2 years, it's gone so quick. And I would have loved to have seen him celebrating us win the Prem. Look at some of these goals. I'm just going to play it. I've muted it. It's a minute long. Just look at some of these goals. Proper striker. Look at some of these finishes from Kev, man. Him and Righty link up. Look at that in Europe. Little gun celebration as well. Watch him. Movement off the shoulder. Can he finish? Cut back. Bang. Proper striker, man. Gunman celebration as well. Bad boy. Watch her. Header near post. Man's a trophy winner as well. Him and Righty. Oh, man. All them times me and him arguing and we're finishing 8th. Look at this finish. Left foot. Boop! Yo! What a finish. That's one of his... Check this one on the spin. Spin, right foot volley. Aye, Kev, bro. Really bad, man. 14 on reshirt, although he changed number. Him and Righty link-up was crazy, man. The celebrations as well. Man was a vibes man as well, you know. South London, you trophy winner as well. Ah, Kev, man, legend. 2 years to the day, people. How quick has that gone, by the way? That has absolutely flown by. Well, I might get his name on the back of the JVC shirt, to be honest. He's never offside like Big C. Hey, there's no VAR in my games. I was onside. Kevin, them man, listen, them man are a big part of the reason a lot of people support Arsenal. Kev, Rocastle, Righty, you know, the culture club, man. You know what I'm saying? So, rest in peace to Kev, man. Let's move on, people. Where was I? Right, we're going to talk injuries, unfortunately. I don't want to talk injuries, but Arsenal and injuries, they seem to go hand in hand. Man said, who's cutting onions? I'm telling you, man, big up that guy, D. Big up Marcel Curtis. He was right in the end, though, but, you know, it took a long time for us to get there. Gunnar Rican, what happened? You changed your name. Rican Football TV now. Have you changed your channel name as well, or is that just your display name? But let's talk about this, people. Sky Sports News revealing Declan Rice was nursing a back injury with injections during the back end of the season with Arsenal. I mean, listen, let me talk about it from both points of view. We're trying to win our first league title for 22 years. Players do take pain-killing injections. I've seen it, right? Even at lower levels. If you've got an injury that can be managed, they'll take injections. He would have probably said, I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? I want to win the league, even if it has a knock-on effect. But it's not good. Saliba, back injury, struggling to train with the French squad. Declan Rice, back injury, injections. Back injuries are a big problem. He's carried our midfield, that's why. My back, my blood clot, back, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Back, mash up. The thing is, this was just not the year that we needed the World Cup, man. We needed these guys to chill. And they're playing for countries that are probably going to get far in the competition. This is why we do need to sign a midfielder, because we need to be able to ease Declan Rice and Saliba back into next season, which is crazy, man. But anyway, is it the doctor's fault? They sacked him. Is it Arteta's fault, not rotating enough? Is it that training ground built on a car park? Is it a combination of all of them? I think what we have to understand, we played 63 games this season. No team in the Premier League played more games than us. However, you have to rotate better. And you have to, I mean, if you look at it, look at Man City now. I'm not seeing injury problems galore with their squad. They started the season with Reinders. By the end of the season, it was Cherky. O'Reilly came in. There was a lot of rotation. We literally, from day one, just went, Declan Rice, that's you till the end of the season. Do you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the season, we figured out, oh, Lewis Skelly can play in midfield, even though we all knew that. You know, Zubomendi was mashed up at the end of the season as well. You know, he could barely run at the end of the season. Urian Timber, if we're not careful, he'll end up going down that Ben White, Tomiyasu route. You know, right backs just getting mashed up, inverted. So apparently the doctor was hand of Arsenal. That would actually be interesting, wouldn't it? Because I'm sure he put a tweet out that was sort of indicating he was leaving the club hand of Arsenal. The doc got sacked hand of Arsenal. No, I don't know who it is. But yeah, Declan Rice, and obviously now he's going to be playing loads of minutes for England as well in midfield. And England have got quite a tough group. Croatia and Ghana first two games. So we got to hope he comes back unscathed. Where's the other story that I had about Saka? We all know Saka's mashed up as well. Where are we, people? Where are we? Here we go. Bukayo Saka can't start and finish matches for England right now due to the Achilles issue he was managing this season. So Saka's Achilles is mashed up. He can't start games and finish them. So any game he pretty much starts for England, he's coming off. So he can't play 90. On top of the torn hamstring and then the pulled hamstring, he's now got an Achilles injury that is basically an injury that you get for being overplayed. So he's coming back in bits at the start of next season. I'm telling you now. I'm almost looking at Saka going, he shouldn't even be at this World Cup. But the problem is, players are obviously desperate to win something with their country. We know that, you know, there's a lot of things there with Saka having missed a penalty for England in the Euros. He's probably desperate to try and win something with England, which I understand. Every player is going to want to play for his country, but you've got to be concerned as an Arsenal fan with this. You know, he's in his early 20s and he's got overuse injuries already. 24 years of age. I mean, this season, 31 games he played in the Prem. He missed 7. 7 goals, 6 assists. I mean, it was his lowest numbers in the last 3 seasons. That's a big concern. Big concern. 300 grand a week as well. Do you know what I mean? 300 grand a week. Nani's probably going to have to play a lot of football in this World Cup because Saka's going to be coming off. This is a massive concern for me, Saka, honestly. This one is Declan Rice. I think he's just played a lot of football. You got to remember, Declan Rice come from West Ham, who don't go far in a lot of cup competitions. He's not used to playing 60-odd games a season. Rice probably just feeling the effects of playing more football than ever. But the good thing is Declan Rice hasn't actually missed a lot of football through injury with Arsenal. So he's probably just fatigued more than anything. Saka is a huge concern. I mean, Rice played 36 games out of 38. Do you know what I mean? So, and he played 35 and 38 in the 2 previous seasons. He's hardly missed a game for Arsenal. But Saka is a huge worry. Huge worry because you just don't want to be in a situation where he can't get his form back and he can't get his fitness back. He needs time off. He needs a lot of time off. I think he needs more time off than any other player after the World Cup. I genuinely think Arsenal should start next season with Saka not in the team, not even on the bench. I'd be giving him a month off, 6 weeks. You need a long break. That Achilles injury, because it's an overuse injury, it needs rest. Otherwise, it's going to keep creeping back up. Do you know what I mean? And you got to think these World Cups, the heat, some of the pitches are American football stadiums, so the pitch isn't always great. They need to really, really be careful how they manage him next season, because we've seen this happen to players. Jack Wilshere, prime example. You can be the best young player at a club. Before you know it, you don't know what to do with them. What are these training grounds built on a car park rumours? Google isn't telling me anything. You've been saying it for a minute. So basically, it was a rumour. I'm not saying there's anything factual. People said that Arsenal built the training ground on what was the car park, because I think the story goes that Arsenal bought the land off Watford. Watford's training ground is next door. So people used to say that it was concrete on that side and they built the training ground on it. However, where the story really gained some sort of momentum, it could be made up, by the way. England trained at Arsenal's training ground before a World Cup. I don't know which World Cup it was. Was it 2006 or 10? And apparently, the players were all complaining that Arsenal's pitch was too hard at training, saying, like, this doesn't feel like any other training ground in the Prem. It's rock solid. And they took England away from their training ground. So now, if you notice, England will train at Tottenham when they want to train in London, because they don't want to train at Arsenal. So there's something there that training ground is rock hard. And our injury problems are just crazy. We sign players that literally never get injured. Was it genuinely a car park? As I said, I heard that. Let me Google it. Cormac Curtis, off topic. Do you think social ban for under 16s is a good idea? I do. I think they have to do something about it. I think the problem now with me being a dad is, like, everything's too accessible. You know, anybody can just message you, and they need to put something in place where maybe only a friend can message. I know they're trying to put things in place, but it's too open. Everything's just too open on social media. But a lot of it, like we said, it's down to the parents. You've got to control what's going on. But it's, yeah, I think they've got to change something. Was Arsenal's training ground built on a car park? Built on a car park. Let's have a look. The Arsenal training ground was not built. It was built on the greenfield land purchased by the club, bordering their previous facilities. No, I don't believe them. AI, you're wrong. It was a car park. Asda car park. No, well, AI says no, but I don't believe them. I heard that a long time. It sounds like they're bantering us, man. But it's rock solid anyway. It is rock solid. And the England players said it was. So I believe the England players, not AI. Anyway, Saka. Get home safe, people. Get home safe. Says England moved to a facility 2012. There you go. Didn't want to train there. Rock hard. Right, let's move on. I got a couple more stories before we round up. What did I have? Transfer news. Let's talk transfers, although I did talk about Bouaddi. Yeah, Slot was being linked. What job was it? Was it Fulham? He turned it down, apparently. It's I can't believe that Amorim got the AC Milan job ahead of Glasner. Really can't believe that. It just shows, don't it? I mean, Glasner's literally probably goes down as the greatest manager in Crystal Palace history. Amorim was absolutely shocking at Man United, and he walks into the AC Milan job. Football management is one of the only places in the world that you can fail and move upwards. You can fail and go up. I'm not saying Man United to AC Milan is up, but I'm saying he should be taking some mid-table job somewhere. How are you getting a big club like AC Milan? after what you've done at Man U. You literally had Kobe Mainu. You're probably going to sell him. Maybe it was Drake's car park. Yeah, you lot love that joke, innit? You lot love that joke. You'll never let that one go. You know what I mean? Gunnar Rican's in on it as well. I hold my hands up, people. I hold my hands up. It's what I get. You're in New York. You should be going to a D Block concert, a G Unit concert. It was Drake, so you deserve to be. They probably done me a favour giving me a car park ticket. I shouldn't have been there anyway. You know what I mean? But anyway, Glad's not available and they brought in Amorim. Probably just because he's a bit more glamorous, isn't he? And he's, you know, Portuguese and they like all of that, don't they? You reckon we buy Bouaddi as a Rice replacement? I mean, competition for places, you know, not necessarily to replace him, but you need a situation where you've got certain games. I want to see certain games, you know, if we're at home against an average team, Saka on the bench, Declan Rice on the bench, where we can rotate. Other than Saka, who's the most overrated Arsenal player, unreasonable, as you know, is not the biggest Bukayo Saka fan. The most overrated Arsenal player, it's got to be. It's got to be. I've got a few names in my head. I mean, I'm thinking Havertz, Odegaard. Yeah, maybe those two. Maybe those two. Probably one of them. I've almost got more faith in Havertz than Odegaard because I feel like Havertz will pop up with a moment of brilliance, but Zubimendi, some people saying as well. It's Eze. Do you know what I say though, Lawrence, about Eze, right? Is I look at players sometimes like this. If I look at Eze this season, Eze won us Tottenham home and away, in my opinion. Scored a hat-trick at home, scored 2 away. So he won us both London derbies. He scored the winner against Palace in a 1-0 win. That's 9 points. He scored the winner against Newcastle, one of the best goals we scored this season, the short corner, whips it in the top corner, right? That's the winning goal, 1-0. He sets up Martinelli's equaliser against Man City in the last minute. And he scores one of the goals of the season against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League. So he has won Arsenal at least 10 points this season and contributed massively with a couple of assists. There's no way for me you can say Eze is overrated. He has contributed more this season than Odegaard by miles. By miles. You know what I mean? So, no, I'm not having... Eze, people have to remember as well, Eze hasn't played at this level. As good as we think Eze is, he's still got to adapt to going from Crystal Palace to Arsenal. Eze's done way more. Odegaard, for me, is the overrated one. For me. He's had 2 years of underperforming. And people are sending me messages saying, oh yeah, but he's been injured. I said, yo, he's played 24 league games, scored 1. Scored 1 goal in 24. Now, I'm with you, people. If we're being totally honest, Eze expectation was probably here, and his performance level was probably here. He's done all right. He's had big moments without being consistently performing. He's had a lot of games where he's strolled around the pitch and done very little. But I've just said to you there, the guy has genuinely won us games. Man said he helped us beat Spurs. Nah, but bro, he scored a hat-trick, bro. When's the last time you saw a player score a hat-trick in a North London derby? And then go and score 5 in 2 games against Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? If it was that easy, why aren't these other guys doing it? Scored the winner against Newcastle. Belter. Winner against Palace. Eze a baller, man. Eze's a baller. He just might end up becoming a squad player if he doesn't become that starting number 10. Who knows? But I think he can improve. But as I always say to people, you tell me an attacking player that has thrived under Mikel Arteta. You tell me one. Just one. I had somebody the other day saying, oh, Trossard, Somebody messaged the other day saying Trossard has become an Arsenal legend with that goal against West Ham. I said, you do realise he went 25 games without scoring. 25 games. I don't know if I move like an unks with these players, but I judge these players by high standards. You can't go 25 games as an attacking player without scoring. Score a big goal, an important goal, and then call yourself a legend. You ain't a legend, bro. You know what I mean? You're no better than Wiltord and them, man. You scored an important goal. Wiltord scored an important goal. Yeah, you can call him a cult hero. He scored a massive goal that was really important. You ain't a legend, bro. Legends don't turn up once every 6-7 weeks and play well and then say, call me a legend. Legends are consistent. That's what makes you legendary. That's what makes you better than other players. I'm turning up every week. You want to talk about potential legends, talk about Saliba and them, man. Declan Rice, they can become Arsenal legends because they turn up week after week after week. You know? But cult hero, I would say. Cult hero, but not a legend. Nowhere near. Big C, I'll say early. I clicked on the wrong one there. We'll read this one. Eze needs to lose a few pounds and run more. I don't think he's overweight. I just don't think he runs a lot. McDowell's, Big C, how about those Knicks fans? How about those Knicks? Happy for the Knicks fans out there. Enjoy. Stayed up last night and watched Isak and Victor cause all kinds of trouble for Tunisia. The Bouaddi lad equals 100. Yeah, very good. Very good. I think we'll go for it. Is Curtis Shaw a legend? Absolutely, mate. I'm consistent. I'm consistent. Not one every 26 streams. Legend is a longevity stat, not just 1 year. Exactly. Trossard has been a very solid squad player for £27 million in January. He's a very, very good January signing. He's been very useful. He scored some very important goals. He's technically very good. If you could give Trossard 90 pace on FIFA right now, he'd be an absolute baller because he's so technically gifted. The twisting, turning, the touch, the left foot, right foot. He just lacks the pace. But I think he's been a very good January signing, 27 million, no problem. You know, I've got no problem with him, but we just need to go up a level now. And this is what I keep saying to Arsenal fans. I say, Arsenal fans want these new signings. They want Rodgers, they want Barcola, they want Cavara, even though we're not going to get him. They want Vinny Jr., we're not going to get him. But to get those guys in, you're going to have to get rid of people. And you're going to have to get rid of people that earn big wages. That means Odegaard might have to go. And people are going, you know, the last show I did on AFTV, Dan Potts was on the show. We were talking about Odegaard. I said, look, I'd sell him. And you should have seen people crying in the comments. He's just lifted the Premier League trophy for us. Okay, yeah, he's the captain. He was always going to do that. He's been injured this season. I said, all right, but he played 24 league games and he scored 1 goal. All right, we'll talk about the year before. The year before, he got 3 league goals. He's been fading for 2 years and he's 28 next season. You've got to pick the right time with players to go, you've served your purpose. We signed you for that. You helped get us to that level. Now we got to improve. Do you know what I mean? We can go up another level. But I knew winning the title is going to get a lot of people emotionally attached to these players. Lawrence said exactly, Odegaard and Eze should both go, get Rodgers and promote Nwaneri. Nah, not for me. I mean, I would still keep Nwaneri, even if you keep them. You got to remember, bro, Eze's in his first season. Do you know what I mean? You can't just sign players for 1 year and just bin them. It's not like he's been terrible. If you've been terrible, I get it. Get rid of him. You know, Norgard probably going to go after 1 season. Eze's contributed, man. Odegaard's in about his 5th season at the club. We've seen enough. We've given him a chance. Man said this season, Faxi's been consistently ish for 2 years. Yeah, Odegaard's influence on the team has faded over the last 2 years. You know, 3 years ago, people were comparing him to Bruno and KDB. Do you know what I mean? Now look at the difference between him and Bruno and the numbers. The writing's on the wall is 28. Well, listen, if we're sitting here in 12 months and Eze ain't good enough, then we'll talk, but not right now. Not right now. He has to be given another season. He scored more than any midfielder at Arsenal. Like, you don't go for the best one. What you're supposed to do is get rid of the weaker ones. Then it lifts the club up. Don't. He's been the most prolific midfielder for Arsenal. Curtis always defends his favourites and trash Odegaard and Havertz. Bro, Havertz for me is a player that I didn't want him, and he's never proved me wrong in that. I think he's a decent squad player, but I think for the amount of wages he's on, you can get somebody better than him. Do you know what I mean? And then Odegaard, I liked Odegaard. When we signed him. Everyone's got favourites, though. We've all got favourites. You have favouritism. How can you say sell Madueke but not Eze? I mean, I think it's quite simple. He had a far better season than him. You're acting like Eze and Noni had the same sort of season. Noni contributed very little. Do you know what I mean? Which is why we're always desperate to get Saka fit. He scored. I mean, we've watched him. We don't even need the eye. He got 3 goals. He's bang average. Absolutely bang average. As I just said earlier, Eze won us multiple games last season. Contributed. They're not even close. You can't compare Noni and Eze's impact. The only similarity is they're both black and they've got long hair. That's it. Nothing else, bro. Eze's way better than Noni. Sell Norgard, Odegaard, Trossard and Jesus. Sign Bouaddi, Rodgers, Solis and Barcola. I can't see us signing Rodgers, Solis and Barcola, Vinny. That's like... I think that if they sign Solis, I think they'll buy Morgan Rodgers. Rodgers will be the left wing / attacking midfield rotation. Ghana, Big C Ghana versus England, 23rd of June. See you in the comments. MJ settings. That's going to be an interesting game. We should have never signed Noni. Let's be real. We all sat there when we signed Eze and we were delighted. Nobody sat there and went, yeah, I'm delighted. In fact, we didn't want Noni. You know what I mean? They put out petitions not to sign him. We all sat here and watched the Let It All Work Out video with Ian Wright. We were all happy to sign Eze. Do you think playing indoors will help European teams? I mean, it's going to be hot regardless, isn't it, if roofs are closed. But, well, a lot of them should be used to the heat by now anyway. Wu said, get the likes up. Big up, bro. Get those likes up. Gunnagank Bouaddi will go PSG if we don't buy him. Well, apparently he favours a move to PSG over us, so he might go there anyway. And big up to Nerman, who's given a super sticker. Big up your damn self. Arsenal and Knicks in the same year. Big C, you're on cloud 9. It's crazy. Cloud 9 would have been Champions League win. I'm not quite there. At the risk of sounding a little bit, sounding like an unks, the Champions League defeat took away some of the joy of winning the Premier League for me. Because I said all along I wanted the Champions League. If I was forced to pick, I wanted the Champions League more than the Prem. So the way we lost that game and the lack of going for it, it did bother me a lot. You know, it did. I'm still basking in the fact that we won the Prem and I've still got the trophy there and I'm happy, but Champions League would have just made it the perfect season. And I've just got this feeling because a lot of people say, you know, you got to quarters, then the semi-final, then you made the final, so your natural progression is you're just going to win it next season. It doesn't always work like that. Like I think Real Madrid and I think these other clubs, they'll come back. You know, I look at that run. Do you know when you really look at Arsenal's season? Our FA Cup run was Wigan, Portsmouth, Mansfield, Southampton. You are never, ever going to get a better FA Cup run than that. That's to get you to a semi-final at Wembley against Man City. If we'd have beat Man City, we'd have been playing Chelsea in the final. We could have won the FA Cup. Carabao Cup, we just didn't turn up for the final. We got absolutely bopped. Premier League, we managed to get that, which was amazing. The Champions League, I mean, we played Sporting Lisbon, Bayer Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid. And every second leg was at the Emirates. I don't think you ever get a better draw than that to get to a Champions League final. Now, obviously, it was tough because we were playing the best team in Europe in the final. So it was always going to be difficult. And we weren't the favourites, and the favourites won, and we took them to penalties. So I get how people see that final with some sort of positivity. I get it. But I just, that underwhelming feeling of not going for it is just what bothered me so much. When I watched the game back, I couldn't believe the lack of attacking intent that we had throughout that game. It was so crazy how we didn't even test that goalkeeper. I don't understand how you can play 120 minutes, score a goal in the 6th minute of a game, and then go 114 minutes without having a shot on target. That is phenomenal. I don't know how that happens. I think if we played bottom of the league in the Premier League, they would have a shot. They'd have more than one shot on target in 120 minutes. We almost acted like they were so much badder than we were. Fixtures drop, I think Friday. I think it's Friday the 19th, which will be interesting. That's the Arteta. Wait, listen, somebody asked me the other day, and it was interesting. They said, have you changed your mind on Arteta? And I actually had to sit back for a minute and thought, have I changed my mind on Arteta? And the answer was kind of, because I think he was expecting me to just be like, yeah, I've changed my mind. He's won the Prem. I'm totally. And I said, you know what? I haven't fully changed my mind on him. And he was like, why though? You've won the Prem. You said he needs to get over the line. I said, what he's done, he's proved to me that he can get over the line, which is ultimately the biggest question mark. Can he win one of the majors? But I think he's still got things that he needs to improve on to actually show that he's an elite manager. Because let's be real, Slot won the Premier League. Slot's not an elite manager. Ranieri won the Premier League. He's not an elite manager. Like, there's managers who've won the Premier League. Pellegrini was not an elite manager. That's not taking anything away from him because Arteta was in his first job, which, you know, it makes it very different to these experienced managers, although Slot hasn't managed that much either. So he deserves huge credit, huge credit. This was a tough job. But I think you will find out next season if Arteta's an elite manager or not. If he continues to push us forward and he improves and the attacking football gets better and the rotation of players improves, that pressure should be off his shoulders now as well. So he should be able to say, yo, I've got the best defence in the Prem. I've got Declan Rice in the 6. Do I really need my wingers to defend so much? Do I need my number 10 dropping back and my striker dropping back? I want to now see, can you create more chances for Victor Gyokeres? Can you get more out of Saka? Because sometimes we just look at it and go, oh, Saka's finished. But why is he in this situation? He wasn't just naturally tearing hamstrings. And I want you to revitalise Bukayo Saka. I want you to get Gyokeres from 14 league goals to 20 league goals. I want your new left wing signing to come in and hit the ground running. I want Eze to go up a level. These are the things that I'm looking at now. The first job of any manager is improve the players that are currently at that club. That is the job of any manager. What you've got, improve them. That's why Klopp was so good. Because all of a sudden he made Henderson look great. He made, Wijnaldum, Robertson, players that people didn't really rate or they've come from the Championship. So I'm looking at Arteta now going, you got to get more out of Zubimendi. You got to get more out of Saka, Gyokeres, and all these players. But he definitely deserves great credit for winning the league. But I still don't think he's an elite manager. If he can build on it next season, I will say, yeah, this winning is now going to become a habit. He's going to win trophies every season. This ain't no one-off that he just stumbled across. He's gonna become a top manager, which I hope he does. I hope he does. If I could sit down, and I'm telling you now, when I get in that press conference I'm going to say to him about the style of football. I'm going to talk to him about, I'm going to say, Mikel, now you've won the Premier League and that pressure is off your shoulders. Do you think we can see an Arsenal now that is closer to 22-23, where we played with more aggression on the front foot and scored more goals? Do you think we can now play with a bit more freedom now we've won the title? Oh, guys, we win the title playing like this, guys. We double down, guys. I want more defenders, guys. Oh, guys. That's what I want to see from it. I want to see attacking intent. But we'll see. We will see, people. You can be an average manager and win the Champions League. Di Matteo proved that. Yeah, exactly. And he's hardly managed. Listen, I always pop up in a press conference over the summer period, people. Outside of the country, they let me in. In England, I can't get anywhere near it. Yeah, just don't wear an Arsenal kit. Bavs, yeah, Bavs. Don't wear an Arsenal kit in a press conference. Did you see Diomande against Ecuador? I mean, I spoke about him earlier in the show. A lot of people in the comments were saying he's overhyped. He's a nonny. He's this. I was impressed with him, man. I'll be honest. I was impressed with him. I know he's a bit inconsistent, but there was just something about him. I thought, yeah, his pace. Somebody just said Arsenal training kit. Yeah, I got an email actually. I haven't even. It's that black and orange one, isn't it? They leaked it a few weeks ago. Has it come out today? Oh yeah, it has come out. Yeah. I just don't know what Adidas are doing with the stripes. Why have Adidas must sit there and go, right, boys, we're copy and pasting the same kits. What should we do different? Should we make the stripes bigger? Yeah, that'll do. Everyone go home. See you over the summer. I mean, I love black training kits and black kits, but what are you doing with these massive orange stripes? It is quite nice. Apparently there's a tracksuit and a jacket and that. We'll have a look. That would actually be a nice kit. That would actually be a nice kit. Yeah, they've got sober. They've got the training ground on the sleeves. Well, this was part of the deal. So now you get a sponsor on your sleeves for training kit. You get a sponsor on your sleeves for the match day kit. More money. So obviously Sober Realty sponsor the training ground and the training kit, and Deal sponsor the kits that they play in. So it's a way to get more money. How do you get into the press conference? Well, basically, once your YouTube channel gets to a certain size and certain views, they consider it, a major channel. And then when you put your application in, obviously you can get into the press conference. And pretty much once you get into one or two, you automatically get in moving forward. So yeah, but if I try and get in the ones in England, they don't let you in. But you have to I think for the ones in England, you have to work for like a major newspaper or company or something like that. But when it's pre-season, you can get in as a content creator. So yeah, it's good, man. It is good. As far as I'm aware, they're only going to Ireland at the moment. There was reports they were going to go to Italy, but it looks like they're not going to have much of a pre-season tour. Got over the line, but first team was all bruised up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brio. I think this year, a lot of these players are going to be struggling. If you hate that kit, you have no swag. Yeah, no, I think it's all right. I think it's all right. Curtis Shaw TV Worldwide. We're here, people. Which said, did you see Tony Ayo saying G-Unit could be dropping a new mixtape after all these years? I'm here for it. Their mixtapes were legendary. We need to see that, man. We need to see that. I will be going on tour. It won't be as, no Singapore, no LA. But we're on our way to Dublin, people. We'll get a Guinness and we'll go to Dublin. Ask him about Vinny and Mbappe. Well, I tried that one before, mate. It doesn't work. He just palms it off. I cannot talk about players that do not play for the club, guys. Oh, guys. He won't answer that, man. People, I'm out of here. Big up to you guys. I'll redirect you to Troops. He's live now. Doing his show. with the lads that he does on a Monday. Bang, I'll redirect you there. Hit him with the C Unit raid. I'll be back for the Spain game. What did I avoided my comments about Knicks fans? What did you say, Jensen? What did you say? Let me scroll back. Stop comparing us to Knicks fans. They are shooting people and setting buses on fire and such things. We are not the same. Yeah, but I'm talking about club-wise, big history, long time without winning a trophy. But big up them Knicks anyway, and big up the Arsenal. It's trophy season. I'll be back at 4:45. Spain against Cape Verde. It should be a mauling, to be honest. I wasn't actually going to do a watch along, but Lamine Yamal is in the squad. And let's see if Marino's back and scoring goals. He does well for Spain. So I'll be back 4:45, Spain against Cape Verde. Tomorrow I'll be doing France against Senegal. And then on Wednesday I'll be doing, I was going to say Arsenal. On Wednesday I'll be doing England against Croatia. So big up to everyone. Hit troops with the raid. Hopefully I'll see you all 4:45 for the Spain game. If not, 1:30 tomorrow. We'll be back, people. Bless.